They mocked her pregnancy until they discovered who her husband was. They laughed at her belly. They whispered behind her back. To them, she was just another pregnant woman who didn't belong. Her silence made her invisible, and her condition made her a target. What they didn't know was that she was carrying more than just a child. She was carrying legacy, authority, and identity that would shift the atmosphere of the very place they ridiculed her in. This is not just a story. It's a lesson in humility, honor, and the danger of judging people too quickly. Janet had just resumed work at the company 2 weeks ago. She was quiet, courteous, and visibly pregnant. She didn't walk in with flair or demand attention. Her clothes were plain. She spoke only when necessary. But in a culture that celebrates noise over value, she became an easy target. Who even hires a pregnant woman for a role like this? Bet she'll be asking for maternity leave in no time. What a waste. They didn't know her qualifications. They didn't see her late nights studying, the sleepless hours managing both pregnancy and projects, or the grace with which she handled pressure. All they saw was her belly. In the cafeteria, they smirked. In meetings, they sighed. When she walked in, heads turned, not in admiration, but in mockery. But Janet carried herself with unusual calm. She greeted everyone. She delivered excellent results. She offered help even when none was offered to her. Her presence was soft, but her spirit was strong. One day, an all-staff meeting was announced. Tension filled the air. The CEO, a man rarely seen, will be visiting in person. Everyone was on edge. Suits were straightened. Desks were cleaned. But even then, the mockery didn't stop. Maybe he's coming to announce new hires. Hopefully someone better than Janet. The room buzzed with excitement and suspicion. Then the door opened and in walked the CEO. He didn't smile at the board. He didn't nod to the managers. He walked straight to the back, straight to Janet. And in front of every mocking voice in that room, he held her hand and spoke. Thank you for being here today. I want to take a moment to honor someone very special to me, my wife. Silence. Shock. Eyes widened. Mouths dropped. The room that had once echoed with whispers of mockery now trembled with regret. The woman they dismissed was married to the man they revered. The one they ignored was one of the pillars of the organization. The woman they laughed at had more access to the heart of leadership than they could ever imagine. If you're inspired by this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life stories that challenge the heart and uplift the spirit. No one saw it coming. And perhaps that's the problem with judgment. It blinds you to hidden glory. Janet didn't gloat. She didn't return their scorn. She smiled. She nodded gently. And when she was later asked how she felt about the whole situation, her words were simple. Sometimes, God hides his treasures in vessels people overlook. From that day, the culture in that office shifted. People became more careful with their words. A quiet reverence surrounded Janet. But the real lesson wasn't just about who she was married to. It was about the importance of seeing people beyond your assumptions. Because in life, it's not always the loudest person who carries the most authority. And not every crown is worn on the head. Some are carried in the heart. Before you laugh, before you mock, before you judge, remember this. You never truly know who someone is or the destiny they carry. Share this video with someone who needs to be reminded. Never underestimate quiet strength. Honor is always rewarded. Let's spread this message far and wide. Janet knew who she was. And eventually, so did everyone else. Honor everyone. Love deeply. Judge no one. Inspired by innocent files.